Back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, that is Roberto Moreno going through the tech line. And if you were with us earlier, you know that Stefan Gregoire had a crash yesterday. Looked seemingly harmless, but it was just enough to fracture a bone in his back, and he will not be racing this year. And Roberto came out, climbed into the car today, and is getting ready to make a qualifying effort. And as he rolls through the tech line, did you ever find yourself in this position where you were subbing for somebody late in a race?
No, but you know something I was just thinking about when you talk about sub, you know, super sub as it is. I mean, it's just amazing his ability to turn around and drive different various cars for different teams and always run well. And that's why he's got the nickname Super Sub, and he's had it for the last 10 years. And it doesn't matter if it's this type of car with Indy cars or even sports cars.
Well, we have caught up with Phil Giebler. Brienne, you've got him? Things are going so well, and just in a matter of a moment, it turns sour. Getting ready now for Roberto Moreno's first attempt today, and with a super sub. He's had a long, storied career. Now, it started many, many years ago. We'll give you his complete rundown, but just in case you're tuning in late, let's take you back to the moment that put him into this car, when Stefan Gregoire, who was working up to speed, ended up with this almost innocent spin that ended up fracturing his back.
You know, he's almost all the way through the turn, and the back end just comes out from underneath him. We call that oversteer. Goes up towards the wall, impacts the wall. Does not look like it's actually very difficult whatsoever in the sense of the impact, but I'll tell you something. The first time I broke my back in Brazil, Marty, I did much the same sort of thing. Went towards the wall, and as I'm going backwards, I'm thinking to myself, boy, I hope we have the parts here to repair this car because we're out of the country. And we hit it 182 miles an hour, and I damaged 3 vertebrae in what I thought was going to be a very innocent accident. So you never know how hard the impact is. You know, when I say that, 180 miles an hour is still pretty fast to go hit something that's solid.
Yeah, it is. And you saw Stefan there. We talked to him earlier, and he's regretting the fact that he's not going to be in this car. But here comes Super Sub Roberto Moreno on his first of 2 warm-up laps. Back in Formula One through 87 through 1995, he had 42 starts in F1, 4 top 5s, 12 top 10s there. Had 120 starts in kart and champ car. He's had 3 starts in the IRL, 99 at Phoenix and here at Indy, where he started 23rd and finished 20th. And then here at Indy again, 1986, he raced where he started 15th and finished 19th.
And obviously a long career, and 48 years old, many years behind the wheel. Now we'll have to see if he can stay on the throttle here for all the way through the turn. 100% throttle is what you want. We say that all the time. Once you start to get down into that north end of the track, coming up to the first lap of qualifying, you want to make sure that you are hard on the gas.
All right, we've got our lap tracker set for his comparison to Marty Roth, who is our slowest qualifier right now. Roth in the outside of row 10 at 218.9 miles an hour.
Now, his warm-up lap was 206 miles an hour, so that is a good 8 miles an hour minimum off what people were generally doing when they were out there. So we're going to have to look for a huge improvement here on this first, we're going to call flying lap. So we'll have to see how this works out for him.
Take a look right now at 0.4 of a second. It appears that he is behind. And we'll get our first lap, and here he is. And yes, it is 216.4 miles an hour. So that would certainly qualify as the slowest speed turned in today.
I look for the next consecutive laps as he gets a little close to the wall there in 2 on the exit. Look for these laps to continually get quicker as he starts to get a little bit more confident, as he's been out of the seat with these cars for quite some time and away here from Indianapolis since 1999. When I spoke to him this morning, he said, you know, I'm not nervous, but I just want to make sure that I'm confident enough. And you can see him drag the left wheels there below the white line down towards the curbing on 4. So using up a lot of room right now. We'll have to see if he can make this run a little bit more consistent.
Lap 2 at 215.2 miles an hour, and I think he's got himself an ill-handling race car, and if he takes it much lower below the line, we've seen that happen.
Yeah, you cannot carry a race car around here. Remember, he got close to the wall in turn 2 there. Previous lap, a little close possibly there on that particular lap. Now, the wind is actually going cross-track today. It's going from turn 1 to turn 2, which is maybe the cause because of what we saw the accident previously with Phil Giebler, but I think in this situation now, he just wants to continue and finish the run and maybe put it down to experience and understand what the car did for him in these 4 qualifying laps. You saw his head dip down there. I would imagine he's actually looking for the controls inside the cockpit to make some adjustments in the car, whether with the weight jacker or the roll bars.
All right, his third lap at 2:16.5, and again, that's going to make him the slowest car in the field right now. Would put him on the inside of row 11 with 2 spots still to be determined. That's if they accept the run. They can wave it off. In fact, there will be a flag position as you look down from the far end of the racetrack when he comes out of 4, and we'll be looking to see if they accept the run or wave it off.
On your right-hand side, where the car is headed towards, they do not. Otherwise, they will accept the checkered flag.
So they're going to take the run, the last lap again at 216.6 miles an hour. So his average will be 216.229, and that makes Roberto Moreno our slowest qualifier with 2 positions still to fill. And it gives a comfort level of about 2.5 miles an hour to Marty Roth, who's on the outside of row 10 in the number 25.
You know, I'm sure they don't, and I don't expect this time is going to hold up tomorrow. And we, because of the accident, maybe don't have that much time left here to get some more qualifiers, maybe filling the field. But we'll wait to see what happens here in the next 10 minutes. But I know that they must feel they're going to have to go out there and do this again tomorrow.
Jack, you've got more on Roberto's team?
Well, I beg to disagree with my driving expert upstairs. I think that this was certainly wise on Roberto Moreno's part to take, because what we don't know, and we've been treated to 3 great days of qualifications here at Indianapolis weather-wise, but any of us that have been here, as long as Scott and you and I have, we know that there's been oftentimes, this is a great place to be a weatherman, because you can be wrong more than you can be right. We've woken up on many occasions where they've predicted bright, sunshiny skies, and we've been encased in a monsoon. The other thing that I think you've got to remember, fellas, is the fact that you have 3 qualifying attempts tomorrow. So why leave anything or any bullets left in the chamber today? Take this and just get prepared for tomorrow. It's very similar to what I think we saw Al Unser Jr. do 1 week ago, when he certainly, when he got out of the cockpit, didn't think it was going to hold for one of the top 22 positions, but he took it and said, hey, if we got to come the second week, we'll do so. And we saw what Al Jr. did today as he put the 50 in the field.
And you make a very good point, Jack, and it may just be a situation where it does turn as far as the weather. You know what I always say about weather, guys? They're 75% correct 15% of the time. And as Roberto tries to climb out of the cockpit, who knows? Maybe tomorrow is a different day. And as you pointed out very succinctly, he does have 3 more chances tomorrow. There's Stefan Gregoire waiting to talk it over with him. But they're in the field right now, inside of row number 11, with 2 positions still to fill. And we had a brief moment of getting ready, I think, for Jimmy Kite. I think they're going to take a stab at this before the close of business today.
Huh? Did a good job. Yep.
Roberto trying.